Hello, we're going to do a deep dive today on assignments. We're going to start out in the projects tab. We're going to find a project that is set up to do heavy civil. This is like building a freeway type of project template that we've designed within the system. And we're going to look at some how assignments get set up and some of the unique things that we do within the assignments, which is in our system. That's where all the work gets done. This is where we accumulate information, we document work that's going to get done. Um, so we're going to drill right into the project information on the project page. We're going to drill in and we're going to see we've got typical work breakdown structure where we've got the different types of tasks or activities that are going to get worked on uh, within this project. We're going to go look at placing some base course today. So we're going to look at that particular task. When we get to the task level, we can go in and create some assignments. This is real basic. The first thing we always have to do is an inspection. And so we've got some inspections already created out here. So let's go look at a few of these. Here we've got a UDBC inspection checklist that we've already got started. So we're going to take a deep dive and look and see what we've got at the assignment level, the first level of assignments that we've got underneath the tasks. And a task can have sub-assignments and sub-assignments within those, and we're going to go look and see how those work within this particular item. We'll see that we have some density tests that we're taking. We have material sample for lab tests that we're taking. Within that sample, we've got some lab tests that are actually completed here. So that's kind of how the hierarchical structure works. Let's take a look at all the assignments and we'll learn a little bit about what they look like. At the top, we've got the actual assignment. This is what we see over here in the list. This is the name that that the assignment has. Uh, by default, the system's going to help us, provide you with a default name, and that can be changed to whatever you'd like. We try and provide naming that is helpful and useful, and we provide some uh, options as a client that a particular company can have the default names uh, created in a way that suits their particular needs. So that's just one more way that we can customize. But that can be changed at any point in time. Um, let's look at here. We can go in and do some sub-assignments. So at every level of within this hierarchy for assignments and sub-assignments, we've got the ability to go in and select the type of sub-assignment that we want to create. And the list of assignments that are available are only applied to the particular situation that we need to be looking for. We eliminate the need for or the potential for technicians to select the wrong form. We try and limit the number of forms that are available at any given point in time. You'll see also we can duplicate. We can duplicate with values. Duplicate with values would bring in any values that can logically be brought forward into another assignment. If we're going to do multiple inspections on a given day, or multiple uh, density tests, different types of things that might work. Duplicate with values saves us some time. We can use the hide button. We can deactivate. Deactivate is only available for administrators and project managers. We can delete an assignment, but generally that's only something that an administrator can do. And we can move an assignment to another project or to a different area within the same project. And that's also something administrators can do. We can also go in and make notes, and um, each note that gets put in is time stamped by who created that. We can have some status items if this has a special status. Generally, this primary status is going to be the create, started, completed, and approved buttons down here. We can have a product segment. We can assign it to somebody. uh, and we can have a planned start and planned end date. Um, and we got some buttons to make that relatively easy. Um, we can put in timesheet information at each assignment, and we've got buttons here to add. Um, we can bring up a dialog box to add any type of time that we want. We'll go into that more in more detail. But we also have quick buttons for adding like reports or trip fees if those are part of the budget. These are automatically created so that we can put in a report fee or a trip fee that are common and get put in very frequently. So we try to make some of those things easy. The next thing we look at is the progress. Progress starts out um, with being created. And so this is what a technician would generally see as soon as he gets into a project. And he starts the work, he can push the start button. And these are equivalent to a signature. This allows this for a single click. He can say, yep, I'm started. Once he's finished and done the work that he needs to do, he can hit the complete button. Technicians wouldn't even see the approve button, but the project managers or administrators can go in and do a final review and get the approval button. Once a technician hits the complete button, it would go on to a list for the project manager to do the final review and continue through that workflow process. Here we've got a few reports that are available for this particular, and we can particular assignment, and these can be done. A particular assignment might have a variety of versions of reports that can be available. And then we've just got the types of inputs, the custom inputs that go into a particular report. And let's just look at a few of these. Obviously, dates and times are always can have quick buttons. There's a way to go in and click these quick and easy with particularly in a field environment. We want to have that so that reduce the typing as best we can. Map marker location. This will come right off of the device that you're working on and fill in the data here. Location information, text with pay items or things that on larger projects are helpful. Stationing, offsets, begin left, right, and then we've got places to go in, and these are essentially the equivalent of a drop-down list, but they're just a toggle list, so those are always available. We're going to go select a resource from over in the resources part of our system, and we'll have generally a list. We've only got one in our dummy data, so we'll identify the nuke gauge that we're going to work with, put in information about that we need to on every assignment that gets done, and we can select a material. Also from the drop down, when we go in and select a resource, we always have three ways of selecting. We can go in and do a type ahead search, and or we can go in and do a selection from the tree view. So it just depends on if we know what we're looking for or what we're not looking for. We can bring in acceptance criteria, spec requirements, again, more text to bring in. Another thing we've got here is occasionally we'll do a convenience item where we know that we need to create a frequency or some sublots, do some densities. And so we're going to place a bunch of material along a roadway. And by specification, we know that we've got to break it at whatever we're going to place in that placement down into sublots. And depending on what the frequency is, we can put the frequency in, or we can put in a direct number of sublots. We can push a button and it'll auto create our sublots for us. And we'll see here we've got moisture densities and we've got 4 of them that got created for us. So this is just a real convenient way of using the system to calculate and and do a lot of the busy work that we don't want to have to do out in the field if we don't have to. Uh, Another thing that we do is what we call, instead of just a daily inspection report where we identify what's being done by writing a narrative and try and remember all of the things that we should be identifying during the course of the inspection, uh, we try and make it easier on the inspector by providing him with um, what we call uh, areas of concern. In each area of concern, we'll have little bullet points of things that they should need to remember to verify and validate while they're out there. And then there is they can accept, report. If they've got report, then we've got what we call speed notes. And speed notes are just a way of adding text to the um, item so that you can identify what's going on without a bunch of keystrokes. So it's just a way of saving a lot of time and effort out in the field. We've got site prep, excavated areas, we got placement methods, have they been done properly? And we do these checklists and we customize those for each type of tasks that we're doing, and they can be as detailed or as simple as we want to make them. Um, General comments, weather, drop downs. These are all the types of things that we easily customize. This is a relatively complicated item. Here we're calculating quantities in both cubic yards and square yards so that we can do minimum sampling and testing. Um, total volumes that are out there, we can do a pass fail, and then we can save what's going on. As we go through these things, obviously we've done a material sample for a lab test here, and then we're going to go in. We've got a proctor, a sieve, and a moisture analysis that were also done here, and each of these have their own little forms, and proctors are relatively complicated, and so we've got all of the inputs that you need to do proctors, and push the button and the whole charts and graphs and everything you want for a proctor test will come out. Anyway, that's the the deep dive into what a in assignments look like and why hierarchical structure of the assignments is important for us to work with. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.